You know when you're wearing a hat and you get the hat line? I put my hat right back on. Anyways, so I'm a hippie. I like to sit on the ground, crisscross applesauce. Um, I don't know, I just like to be grounded. I like sitting on the ground. So don't judge me. To come out here and I have a few videos to make, but one of them is me talking about why I personally think we need to cancel roller coasters. We need to cancel roller coasters for a little while. That little boy who lost his life in Orlando last week had me in tears yesterday. Why am I crying about a boy I've never met in my life? Because society has bred us to really think roller coasters are safe for humans. Roller coasters are not safe at all. And our children really think the 15-second thrill is a good enough reason to get on it and risk your life. Like, I don't know what interview it is, and maybe I could try to find it or whatever, but Tiffany Haddish mentioned that she used to get on roller coasters when she was in foster care to give herself, like, mini abortions. So if a woman is using a device that is man-made to rattle a baby out of her uterus, why are we allowing our children to still get on these roller coasters? Cancel roller coaster culture. At least until we can figure out what happened with that ride and give people time to mourn and actually figure out what they're going to do with their kids this summer, because I don't know. Personally, roller coasters ain't it anymore. Like, we could be doing better things with our bodies in our time, and we could be teaching our kids to have fun in other ways. Like, let me tell y'all a story. So, I was in Vegas, it was a year ago now, and we were at a carnival, my family and I, and the little girl who I was with, she was 10, and she was the oldest out of all of the kids, and so she wanted to go on a roller coaster, but it wasn't the one that goes straight up and then comes straight down. It was the one that goes this way, up. Like, I don't know what it's called, but she stood in line for it and everything, and she really was like gonna go for it, you know. And she asked me if I wanted to go on it. I told her no, and I was just gonna watch the babies. Like, so I took the littler kids on like a normal type of roller coaster. It was the carousel, so it was like a mini carousel. So it was going real slow, and just rides like that. Like, to a certain extent, I feel like we can give kids that leeway, but it's just like, you never know. Anyways, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's insane. But we had came back from the carousel because the line was like ridiculous. So by the time we were done with the carousel, she had decided not to get on the ride, and she walked back over to me, and I asked her what happened. And she said, I got scared. And I said, I feel you, girl, because your intuition, your gut instinct, you need to listen to it. That's you protecting you from you. Like, so always listen to your gut. And I'm glad that baby girl at 10 could hear like 9 about that. And even if nothing happened, it still was like good practice for her to trust herself that that wasn't it at that time. Like, that wasn't it. So that young man knew once he got on it and it started to ascend that it didn't look good for him. And I think that was the saddest part of the story, is knowing you're gonna die. It hit home. Like, so freaking ridiculous. Anyways, I'm just gonna say this in the nicest way I know how. Our young people need to be taught how to put bass in their voice, because the moment my friend would have said something to me like that, I would have been loud. I would have been waving my arms. I would have been causing a ruckus, because you're not about to have my friend die on my watch. No. So to not hear our young people putting bass in their voice to defend their friends is insane to me. And I'm not knocking anybody, because your brain shuts off when you are in something traumatic, or you know you're about to experience something traumatic. Your brain kind of like, it takes a fart. It malfunctions because it's trying to process so many things at once. So in that moment, those friends probably freaked out, just like that young man probably freaked out, but it's snapping out of it. It's coming back to reality and remembering, like, you gotta fight your monkey brain. You gotta remember that in order to save somebody else, you have to save yourself. So if that young person lost their voice and lost the gumption to scream down to help save his friend, possibly, it's understandable, but it can't ever happen again. Like, it needs to be said when that young person heals, that stand up for people. Stand up for people when you're around them and you don't see good happening. Don't be afraid to stand up, because I bet you if one of those friends started waving, going crazy, saying stop the ride, other people around him would have peeped and probably helped, and also screamed stop the ride, waving their arms. And the people on the ground would have had no choice but to, oh, we need to do better. So I hope this video doesn't offend anybody, especially the people who are having to mourn the loss of their friend. And I'm getting emotional. I need to stop. I'm not kidding. I cried my eyes out like yesterday. This is like the saddest thing to me, because just last year I was dealing with that young woman, and her getting on that roller coaster and not having a good feeling. Like, so you never know. And it hit home, just like I'm sure it hit a lot of people in different ways, because yeah, it's always, well, it could have been my child, but like, it still was a child of our community. Like, all of these children are our children. Like, these children in this community are our children. So to not have him here now because of a slip up in the adult community is just like, we got to do better. And I felt like I needed to share this message, because it just hit me home. It just hit home in a feeling I never thought. I couldn't stop crying. I never thought I would cry over a child I don't know. But I don't know. If this video made any sense, please like it, share it, comment. What do y'all think? I hope that young man rests in paradise, and I pray for his family, and I pray for his friends, and I hope that Orlando amusement park gets answers and figures it out, because the summer is coming and we can't have our children dying off of man-made equipment. Like, stop the nonsense.